sales whisperer.
I like the way you say that.
I know I've done that. In promoting this to other people, I'm like, I get to go on with Wes, the sales whisperer. I just did that actually. You know, Pete Vargas of Advance Your Reach.
Sure.
I was in he has like a private Facebook group for affiliates of this upcoming launch that he has. And I totally talked about our Facebook Live. And I said, with Wes Schaeffer, the sales whisperer, you bring something out of me. I don't know what else there is to say about that. So Wes is here. We are going to have a really great conversation around sales. Being in conversation with so many of my clients over the years, I can tell you that authors, speakers, and coaches, they're creatives, they're visionaries, right? They just want to go out and spread their message with the world. And most of them, pardon me, suck at sales. That's not where they feel comfortable. And so I would like to see in the course of this conversation, can we do a mindset shift? Can we look at this from a different angle and have a real conversation that you haven't heard before about getting you more comfortable with sales, getting you to see where the real opportunity is in sales, not what you think it is, and see what else comes about. Now, I have a very important announcement. So some of you already know about this, but I want to do a little experiment. Tried this yesterday and it was very exciting to see the results, and I want to try it again today. So here's the deal. I want all of you watching live right now to participate in this experiment by clicking that little button on the bottom right corner of the screen, and it's going to say Start Watch Party. When you click Start Watch Party, here's what's going to happen. A copy of this video screen where Wes and I are talking right now is going to be placed on your personal profile page. That's it. You click a button, it shows up on your page. When you do that, I want you to make a comment below in this live stream feed just saying, I started a watch party. What's going to happen and why I'm experimenting with this is because the knowledge that we're about to drop today could help a lot of people. And I want to give them that opportunity. So if you start a watch party, more people in your network will then get to be impacted by the same information. So it's just a way of, creating more impact, right? And I need your help to do that. So I'm going to make it interesting because I like making things interesting. And if you start a watch party during this next half an hour and you make a comment below, you're going to be in a drawing. And later today on video, I'm going to share it on the page. I'm going to pick one person and gift you a $100 gift card to Amazon, where you can buy yourself, your wife, something nice, your husband. You can pay it forward. You could buy a bunch of Starbucks gift cards and just hand it out as a random act of kindness, whatever you want to do with it. But that is my way of giving back and asking for your help to spread Wes's message. Because it's an important one and you're about to see why. So start the watch party now and let's get into it. Wes, thank you for being patient while I made that announcement. I'd like to get started by allowing you the opportunity to share a bit of your background and why sales, man? Why is that the thing that you decided to zero in on in your career?
Because that's where you make the most money.
Such a good answer.
Piece of cake. I was in the Air Force. I was married. We had a baby, another one on the way. And I wanted to get paid according to my production, not time and grade, not tenure. And sales was the obvious choice. And everybody's in sales. Dirty little secret.
Elaborate on that. Everybody's in sales because an author writing a book does not believe that they're in sales.
Right. And then they go shop it around and for a proposal, right, for somebody to give them a retainer, up front, or to try to sell the book. Give me a break. You can't judge a book by its cover. We were talking before we hit record. You are a wife and you're a mother, right? Mm-hmm. Your husband sold you on the first dance, the first coffee, the first dinner, the first kiss, saying yes to the ring, saying yes to the dress, although he probably didn't do the whole dress thing, but that was all a sale, right? Your little one, Mommy, can I have dessert? Mommy, can I watch a movie? Right? It's all a sale. everything. People, it's like poker. If you don't know who the sucker is at the table, it's you.
Ooh.
All right. You are either working your plan or you're being worked by someone else's plan. Oh, I'm not in sales. Fine. I'm going to sell this product to you at the highest possible price with the most add-ons and upgrades and warranties, and you'll never know what hit you. Okay. You're either in sales or you're being sold. It is literally that simple. And everything, you know, you go to the restaurant. Hey, would you like to hear about today's specials? Or you're like, hey, can I get a salad instead of French fries? That's $1.99 extra. Sell them on bringing you the salad and not charging you. That's a sale.
Well, that would be an interesting exercise.
You can practice this everywhere. And hey, here's the funny thing. I personally, like, deep down, I don't like sales. I don't like the true old-fashioned, old school, hard closing, overcome objections, beat them up, wear them down. I don't like that either. Okay. But I will practice that with people. Little things like you're on the airplane, right? Would you like peanuts or pretzels? Could I have both? Yeah. All right. What would you like to drink? Can I get a Coke? They poured a little cup. Hey, can I get the whole can? Yeah. Practice it. Right.
Okay, but what about people who feel like, oh my gosh, guilty about that, or like it's
Why should you feel
they're
guilty?
asking for too much?
$400 or $500 for the ticket, plus the freaking bag upgrade, plus the stupid carry-on bag upgrade, plus the extra $37 for more leg room, plus the change fee, plus.
Right?
Okay. This Coke cost them 12 cents. Ask for the whole Coke. You know, you want pretzels or biscotti, right? Those cookies are the deal, right? I just flew last week. I know this is fresh in my mind. I'm like, I want both. They gave me both. Okay. Just ask. Get in the habit of asking people to do things for you. Okay. That's a sale.
I'm so glad that the conversation has come to this point, because it's actually a really important topic that I want to dig more deeply into. And I feel compelled to also share, like, this is what I really respect and love and appreciate about Wes, is he's very like direct, like, of course, why wouldn't you ask? Right. And this is actually challenging things in my own mind right now. And I'm so ready to be freaking challenged in this way. I am the person that's like so nice to a fault. And I see over the years how that has prevented me from making a bigger impact, building more wealth, whatever it is. And I'm doing it because it's the kind thing to do, or some crap that somebody taught me somewhere, or that I believed a million years ago. And it's so time to move on from that. But before we dive into this a little bit further, because I really want to, I feel compelled to add, if anybody is just joining us, I did have a quick announcement at the beginning that I'm encouraging everybody to start a watch party. At the bottom right corner of the video player, if you click that button, copy of this video will be on your personal feed. Come back, let me know you did it. You'll be in a drawing to win a $100 Amazon gift card. It's an experiment. Let's help more people with this message. Now, Wes, the reason this is so important is, in my research, I found that this is especially tough for women. It seems like men don't have as much of a problem asking for what they want. Women do. And this really came to a head for me personally about a month ago. And I am doing a lot more podcast interviews again. I like to just kind of pop up and do them from time to time. And somebody very influential in my network said, well, why didn't you ask me just to be on my podcast? And I said, well, I don't know. I guess I just assumed that you would ask me if that's something that you wanted. You know, I would feel a little nervous or guilty or whatever I felt if I were just to come out and say, oh, hey, so-and-so, can I be on your podcast? That feels so self-serving, you know, and that bothers me to some degree. And he really held me accountable to that and made me feel like that's ridiculous. If you want to help more people with your message, like, ask your network to be on their podcast. What's the big deal? And so anyway, it's reminding me of this conversation, Wes. What is in my head or in other people's heads watching this? And how do we just get rid of that once and for all so we can just ask for what we want, for crying out loud? It seems simple enough.
Well, but I feel the same way in that regard, in that instance. It can be a little presumptive. Obviously, if you know somebody, go ahead and ask. Um, I I like to soften it up a little bit, and I'll reach out to someone and say, "Hey, what are the criteria you look for in a guest?"
Hmm.
Okay. And you could even in that same sentence say, would I be a fit? Or wait for them to reply and like, hey, I think I meet some of those. What do you think? So you're still asking, but just not coming
That
right
makes sense.
out and punching them in the face with it. Cause then it's like this hard yes or no sort of decision. Um, it's kind of like the old, hey, Amber, what are you doing tomorrow night? And you're like, oh, wow, nothing. Oh, great. Can you watch my cat? You're like, oh my gosh, really? I just fell for that.
Yeah.
So you want to put people in the position so they can have a comfortable out, if you will, in that scenario. Okay. But you're still asking, right? You're still moving forward. Because that's my approach. And I don't know, 9 times out of 10, people are like, yeah, you'd be great. Let's schedule it. So how you ask does matter. And that's the art of selling, right? Selling is very scientific. Okay. It's a scientific, garbage in, garbage out. Okay. So an extreme example, do not take this literally. Let me put that out there right now. Okay. What if I said, Amber, those flowers, the paintings behind you, that's ridiculous. They look like straight from 1980. Did you get that at a garage sale? I mean, what are you renovating and just haven't gotten around to the paintings? How would you feel?
Well,
don't cry. All right.
I'm much more emotionally mature now than I was like 5 years ago. So now I would say you're wrong or you're just not my people. But 5 years ago, I would have been like, oh my God, I'm such a loser. You were 10 years, whatever it was ago.
But you get the point, right? Conversely, if I say, hey, I love that lamp. Hey, we're redecorating. My wife's doing this, blah, blah, blah. As a guy, if I say I love your hair, that gets kind of weird. So men and women have to give different kind of compliments, right? But it's an extreme example. But if I ridicule you, like, let's say I'm the Ford dealer and you drive up in your Chevy minivan and I go, oh my gosh, I'm surprised you got here under your own power. Typically, Chevy drivers are getting towed in, or they're just walking in, dragging their knuckles because they're so dumb and ignorant and make such bad choices. It's about time you finally got here just in time. And you know what? Because I'm a nice Ford dealer, I'm only going to charge you twice as much because that's just the penalty for you buying a Chevy at first, right? You're like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Right? They're making you feel bad, but we do that without recognizing, like, oh, you're using Infusionsoft. That's Confusionsoft. That's a terrible CRM. You should be over here using Ontraport or HubSpot. Right? Like, thanks, dude. I know, that's why I'm calling, right? Versus complimenting them. You drive up in a Chevy. I'm like, that's a great van. It's a great company. It's like a rock. I mean, why do you want to switch? Right? Because now I'm complimenting you. I'm complimenting your decision making. Now you're the one that can say this thing. Oh my gosh. I was pregnant. My husband thought he was going to surprise me doing the right thing. He bought this thing without even advising me. We almost got divorced over it. It doesn't have the cup holders I need. It doesn't have an entertainment system. Doesn't have a sunroof. So you're telling me all these things. Oh, cup holders, sunroof, entertainment system, folding seats, blah, blah, blah. What am I going to show you in my van? Right? All because I complimented you rather than belittling you. So that's why I say people are so predictable. Now we have to be careful. Okay. Because I could say, I see you're driving up here alone. You got a kid. I see a wedding ring. Look, I know you got to run this by the man because he makes the money. And so look, why don't you go ahead and get the decision maker on the phone? Because I'm not going to talk to you until I talk to the man of the house. Oh, hell. right? Here comes Amber, the wrestler, snapping his neck, right? Bam, right there, live on TV. So how you ask it matters. So now you're looking at them like, Amber, thank you for coming in. Hey, when you're considering a major purchase like this, can you walk me through your decision-making process? I know in my household, my wife makes damn near all the financial decisions. So, but do you bounce this off of a spouse, a girlfriend, a dad, a business coach, a tax advisor, an accountant? Walk me through that. So it's a very nice way of saying, are you the decision maker?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that's the art of the science, which is I need
Science.
to know if you're the decision maker. Do you have authority? Do you have budget? Do you have pain? Do you have a need? Okay. But how we ask it matters so much. And most people don't have that nuance.
How we ask it matters, awareness, listening, right? And what also comes up for me is knowing like what you're trying to get out of this conversation or this exchange, like what is your intention going into it? Now, I want to use this example in a different kind of way where if I am trying to sell myself, as so many people in my audience are, they're not selling a product like a car. If I'm trying to sell myself, and it doesn't really matter if I'm trying to get myself on a stage, if I'm trying to get a new client, but I have to sell myself ultimately. I think the reason that people fear sales, even subconsciously, is because they don't want to get rejected because it's personal, right? And then I'm going to feel like you don't like me, or you don't receive me, or you don't trust me. And that's going to make me feel bad. So most people would rather just stay busy doing the things in their business that don't matter, meanwhile racking up a bunch of debt, instead of addressing it head on and finding a way to feel comfortable with selling yourself.
Mm-hmm.
What do you have to say about that? How do I sell myself or get into the right mindset about it?
Well, it goes back to the same thing, and on like reaching out and saying, what are your criteria, right? Asking them. So I can ask this of women, and I do it all the time in my training as an example, because men, we are pig-headed and we don't go see the doctor. But most women have a
True.
regular doctor that they see usually twice a year. Is that a safe assumption?
Yes.
Okay. Now, your doctor, how long have you gone to him or her?
Let's say a few years.
Few years. Do you trust this doctor?
Yes.
Is this the same one that delivered your baby?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know where they went to school?
I feel like he told me at one point, but I don't remember.
Was he like valedictorian of his high school, or do you even know?
Couldn't tell you.
You're not sure where he went to college. You know where he went to medical school.
Couldn't tell you.
You know where he did his residency.
Nope.
Do you know what brand of stethoscope he uses?
Definitely not.
What about the little baby monitor when you hear the heart rate? Pew, pew. Don't you love that? Like what, 150 beat, pew, 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 pew. Like that's a cool sound, right? What brand of little heart baby monitor did he use?
It would be scary if I knew that right now.
That
That would throw
scary,
you
right?
off.
But you trust this person now for many years, a couple times a year with the delivery of your baby, and you don't know any of those things.
True story.
But what do? Oh, hey, I went to this school and that school, and I got an MBA in graphic design, and I'm digital marketer certified, and I know this, and I go to this conference, and I know color palettes, and I speak hexadecimal, and I know API and ROI and KPI and SSL, and the customer's just going, oh my gosh, get me out of here. You trust your doctor by his literally his bedside manner. How does he conduct himself? Okay. What questions does he ask? How we know based on, so like in the wild, animals don't have very good vision, believe it or not. Like, birds of prey have great vision. That's about it. But they notice movement. That's why, like, you're hunting the deer, right? You're super quiet, super, super calm. They notice the change. They notice, as humans, we notice the change in demeanor. Okay. Amber, you absolutely need this CRM. It does tagging. It does market automation. It does e-commerce. It does API integration. You need this thing because it'll show when people visit your website. And then you go, how much is it, Wes? And I go, well, That's a good question. Right. That change, you're like, that dude just freaked out in a opposite calm way, right? Like everything changed.
Lost confidence.
That's why I like body language. People overplay body language. Look at Wes. His arms are folded. He's just so closed. Maybe I'm cold. Maybe I'm just comfortable. So you look for the change in the body language. If I'm just like this the whole time and I'm just casual, it's just how I'm comfortable. But you're like, well, how much is it? Now I open up and I lean in. Oh, he's about to kill me, right? Or I push back from the chair. Well, so look for that change, right? So when people change, we're telling the customer, the prospect, we're not sure, that we're uncomfortable in that situation. So imagine if the doctor came in, right? Because they always do this. Okay, Amber, thanks for go on in the waiting room. Go ahead and disrobe and put this little thing on that doesn't close in the back and sit on that crinkly paper. And I know it's really cold and we don't know how long we're going to be here, but go ahead and be all right. Now imagine if the doctor walked in like, oh, sorry. I look, I'm just, I'm not going to look. I'm going to check. Like, dude, is this your first time? Right? I expect you to be calm and in control in this situation. We as salespeople must be comfortable in the presence of uncomfortable people. We have to be comfortable making them uncomfortable. Okay? The questions that we ask. So Amber, why are you calling me? Why are we talking about CRMs right now? Why are we talking about sales training? Well, I was just kind of hoping to, maybe grow my sales. Why is that important?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I've got some goals. No, Amber. Why is that important? Right? And I need you to go bite the lip. I want to see some tears. I was told I couldn't do this. And, I had a partner and she stole from me and whatever. She wanted bigger percentage. And she said I would never amount to anything. I was nobody without her. And I'm going to prove her wrong. Right? Now I know why we're going to work together. Okay. As long as it's this esoteric, very high surface level conversation, we don't really have anything going on. But just like a doctor, where does it hurt? How long does it hurt? What did you do? Did you travel? Any allergies? Any history of the family? And they're going to poke and prod. Ow, that hurt. I'm sorry, I got to do this. They're comfortable making you uncomfortable so they can diagnose. Okay. We have to be comfortable asking hard questions and shutting up. All right. And listening and truly hearing the answer. Okay. And there's no obvious answer. Well, why do you want sales training? Well, I want to grow my sales. Most people go, well, isn't that obvious? No, it's not obvious. There's a lot of people that are scared to death of growing their sales. Just because you make more money doesn't mean you don't have any problems. You just have a new set of problems.
True.
And a lot of people are very comfortable with their current set of problems. So you've heard of, you ever watch Glenn Ross, the sales movie, Alec Baldwin?
Mm-mm.
Oh my goodness.
I know. Geez, I just blew it. I blew it, everybody.
You have a homework assignment. Okay. And it's some rough language, but hey, it's a sales movie from 20 plus years ago. Almost 30 years ago, actually.
I'm actually surprised I haven't based on that cast and even that time. I mean, God.
Oh man, it's a classic, but you've heard of ABC's Always Be Closing.
Mm-hmm.
It comes from that movie and it made it popular. Right. But that's, I think it's truly old school. And that movie came out 92, 93, somewhere in there. It was based on a play from the 80s, based on the thing that the guy wrote in the early 80s, late 70s, based on how he saw his dad. Well, he did some work like in the 60s or 70s and he saw his dad. So it's literally like a 50-year-old concept. ABC, always be closing. Right? The reality, I think the new ABCs are always be courteous, always be curious.
Yes.
Okay. I want to know what's going on. Why are we talking? No, really. Why are we even here? You know, people like, can you train my salespeople? They expect me to jump up and down like a dancing dog. Oh, yeah, I can train your salespeople. Right? I ask them, how do you know you have people that are trainable? Mm-hmm. Right? We as salespeople, we know we're on the right track when we ask a question that they can't answer. Okay. You got a rash on your arm. Your baby has a rash, right? And you Google it and you ask you ask your mom, you ask your girlfriends, you ask your favorite aunt. Damn, nobody has the answer. I've tried everything. It's not same laundry detergent, same clothes. He didn't roll around the grass, whatever. Same food. Uh-oh, I got to go to the doctor because you can't answer your own question. If you find the answer, oh, it's a new laundry detergent, blah, 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 change it. Oh, it's gone away. No big deal. We have to ask questions that our prospects can't answer. If they can answer it, why do they have to give you money?
Right.
They have all their own answers. But then amateur salespeople start giving away the answer for free. Just like you go to the doctor, you go, oh yeah, that's that other little rash. Hey, here's some cream. Take this ointment. You know, take the pills. Blah blah. It samples. You don't even have to check in. No copay today. What? How long is that doctor going to stay in business? Right?
Man, baked into everything that you just said, and that's why I was so quiet. There are like 50 nuggets in there.
52.
52. Damn, I missed two. I really hope that everybody listening got that because it happened fast and there was a lot there. And honestly, I feel like everybody should go back and listen to that all over again and take notes this time because if you hadn't, because there was so much wisdom packed in there. And what I really appreciate is that the essence of it is that you need to ask better questions. You need to listen, right? You need to be curious and make a real connection and go deeper. And that it's less about traditional sales in the way that most people think of sales. It's more about this conversation and this experience, but also that money is an exchange of value. So don't not ask, right? It's your responsibility to ask for the order. But also it is asking for that order and making that sale that's going to sustain the business, right? And so that was really awesome. And I really appreciated all of the examples and stories that you told because it really anchored it for me. It was awesome. And I also can't believe how fast this time went. Like, seriously, it feels like we've been talking for 10 minutes, not almost 30. So Wes, knowing that you probably have a call at the back end of this, any last wisdom that you feel called to share? I am going to talk about the gift that you have been gracious enough to give everybody here in just a second. But is there anything else burning that for authors, speakers, coaches, you feel like, man, I cannot end the live stream without sharing this one thing? And no is okay too.
Yeah, I mean, you gave a great synopsis there. But it's, ultimately whoever's asking the better questions wins. And there's a caveat there, right? When you get together with your family, with your friends, maybe a family reunion, you're not peppering them with a ton of questions, right? Obviously, how you doing? How's the family? How's the job? How's the baby? How's the house? Okay, blah, blah, blah. The small talk and whatever, things you want to know about. But then y'all get back to telling stories, right? There's a dialogue there. So questions are very important, but just they've got to be conversational. The prospect cannot feel like they've been arrested and you're from the CIA, FBI, right? You're just grilling them. So make it be very conversational, but recognize it is not your job to demonstrate anything, really, okay? You have to ask better questions. If you truly get them emotional and get to the real meaning as to why you're even having a conversation, the prospect will buy from you purely based on that emotion. Okay. So don't feel like you have to validate yourself by doing some extensive, elaborate, multimedia PowerPoint presentation. Okay. You don't have to do it. So make it your goal to do less demos, right? Have shorter conversations and get to a decision, and no is okay. Just like you just said. If I hear no in a 20-minute conversation rather than 2 weeks or a month or 6 months of whining and dining, that's a win.
Yeah.
Okay. So be conversational, go for no.
Thank you. Powerful stuff. And, you know, yesterday, Wes and I were dialoguing a little bit and it came up in conversation that he has this, I'm going to share my screen briefly and we'll let you guys go. He has this video series called The 7 Deadliest Sins of Selling. And along with it, packed with resources, you guys, 62-page report full of these other sales tips. I actually already signed up for it. You can see my name and emails. I guess that's like it's just remembered that I had already opted in for it, but I've begun to go through it myself. Very high value, lots of great information in there. The reality is if you do want to make a bigger impact in the world, you will have to figure this piece out, period. I feel very lucky that in an early age, I sold Cutco cutlery. That was where I learned about sales, some of the best training on the planet, in my opinion. And there is a way to sell without having to feel guilty about it, while exchanging high value, while deepening relationship and connection, doing a soft approach, but a highly effective approach, right? So there is not one size fits all for sales, but these tips are going to apply to your personality and what you need to do to make that impact and move your business forward. So I definitely recommend this. And I have somebody in my team that's going to put a link in the comments for people as well. And Wes, man, thank you for your time. I'm so excited. I get to talk to you again in a couple of weeks. We're going to be recording an episode for your podcast too. So more to come. I just appreciate your kindness and willingness to share on such a big level.
Hey, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
All right, everybody. You can still start a watch party. Just going to say it. I mean, who doesn't want $100 to Amazon? Seriously, click a button. Maybe you'll be the winner. I will make a video later today announcing the winner of the $100 Amazon gift card for those of you who started an Amazon watch party on Facebook. And I'll